that Bakana is the most peaceful community in River State. At the same time, the most peaceful in Nigeria, that where election is conducted that very day, which means nobody in Bakana held somebody's clothes, neither slap nor quarrel, but everything were done peacefully and everybody went to their polling unit and exercised their rights by voting. And at the end of the activities, the INEC people and the observers and the leaders in various parties went back and leave Bakana back to our Degema local government headquarters where they would normally report their things. There was no sign of any slap or any some form of death. That night, when they were on their way going, there is this one gunboat that is escorting them that night, which is the army present. On their way going, get to that Krakraman axis before the incident of misfire from the source we are getting, that the military that did a misfire among the rest. That from there, the flying bullet happens to get over, which means the incident did not happen in Bakana. At the same time, did not happen in the territory of Degema. Because in Degema, once again, I will thank the good people of Bakana for the cooperation these days. Mostly the Bakana Internal Security, which I am the Internal Security Chairman currently. And I'm thanking all members of the Bakana Internal Security that join with me to make things peaceful, to make the community, make it free for everybody to go to their various businesses without one disturbing one another. With this peace, for years now we've been enjoying. If not for God has given us the wisdom to carry on this activity we are doing. Without we used to call it nobody worry nobody, which means everybody free on your own and go and do your normal business. Bakana people have decided that there is no more courtesan in the community. Mostly the internal security, we have agreed that there is no more courtesan in the community. Whosoever that may feel is a court member, he should go away from the community and do all he needs to do. It doesn't concern the Bakana, but immediately you are inside the Bakana, you are known as Bakana indigene and you behave like one. From your statement is of a truth that there is no single security, that means government security in Bakana. When mean government security, meaning the security personnel, the army, the JTF, the police, the navy, air force, so on and so forth, even civil defense. None, not even the one that is on mufti, is not around Bakana. Yet, the Bakana internal security, which are citizens of the community, the indigenes of the community, making these affairs going peacefully, we show that love to ourselves, we secure ourselves without no harassment and live like that. This recent politics, the advice I will give that the politicians who are that eager that if not them, should not go for another, and they used to poison the mindsets of the youth of Bakana. Then days, which the mindset of youth of Bakana always twist to their own favor then, but now we have come to our normal senses and we have seen that the only means of achieving things is through by peace. We can achieve everything we want to achieve, and by loving one another and putting more. Whosoever so long as you are from Bakana, you see the next person like Bakana too, because politics will come and politics will go.
Okay.
Bakana remains the same.
That's fine. Bakana remains the same. Bakana is peaceful. But still, the recent election, which I'm talking about, the presidential election, caused the death of one Bakana indigene, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it went viral. And also massive killings within the Kalabari area, very especially the Kalabari area. But let's not talk about the Kalabari area. But also as a C.S.O of Bakana, which is the Chief Security Officer of Bakana, we want to talk about the security in Bakana. Now, the last time a lady died, is it a lady? a lady
Yeah.
died. Now we want you to talk about that incident. How did it all come about? And what do you really have to say concerning as being the CSO of the Bakana?
Okay. Based on that, I will first of all thank the good people of Bakana, male, female, boys and girls, old and young, chiefs and kings. Everybody, I want to thank them. Even despite our political difference within us, which means from different party and all the rest, I want to thank them for that last Saturday, the previous election we just concluded. That Bakana is the most peaceful community in River State. At the same time, the most peaceful in Nigeria, that where election is conducted that very day, which means nobody in Bakana held somebody's clothes, neither slap nor quarrel, but everything were done peacefully and everybody went to their polling unit and exercised their rights by voting. And at the end of the activities, the INEC people and the observers and the leaders in various parties went back and leave Bakana back to our Degema local government headquarters where they would normally report their things. There was no sign of any slap or any some form of death. That night, when they were on their way going, there is this one gunboat that is escorting them that night, which is the army present. On their way going, get to that Krakraman axis before the incident of misfire from the source we are getting, that the military that did a misfire, not the rest. That from there, the flying bullet happens to get over, which means the incident did not happen in Bakana. At the same time, did not happen in the territory of Degema. Because in Degema, we have to move from Bakana and materials on our way going back to Degema. You have to cross other local governments. So Kakrama is a local government under Asaritori. So that is the place where that incident happened. And I say sorry to the family. I sympathize with the family. So I'm sympathizing with the family member that it is not easy to lose a daughter which you have trained up to this day, who will be somebody tomorrow in your family, to just lose like that for an election, which will not in one way or the other. It's not a father being the president, neither our uncle, but yet he sacrificed for the country.
Okay, that's cool. Still on your word, you said Bakana is peaceful and Bakana remains peaceful. Yes, of the truth, Bakana is peaceful. But people are very concerned about how that whole incident happened. I know you're not there, but at least as a chief security officer, a returning officer that has left your community to return the peaceful vote that has been conducted in your community, of course, they must have given you a report. Now, what is the real situation report you have about this incident? Because
It is really a misfire.
misfire, how did it happen?
From that Krakama Aziz, as I say, the military had a jetty there. And that night, believing what is happening at Abonima, maybe wanted to extend to that Krakama Aziz, because even them, they were conducting an election in that Krakama. So when they see a boat on that night, they were thinking those boats were about maybe coming their way and all the rest. So we have to give our awareness shot and put it that way.
Okay. Awareness shot to shooting straight.
I really don't know. That is what they told us. In the night, it is difficult for you to direct or to control somebody which is in a separate boat away from your own. Because if you want the person to slow down, you cannot shout for him to hear. You cannot tap him for him to hear. You will give the sign by you slowing down. If he may seize you, he may think maybe you slow down for some reasons why he wants to leave. If it is if at the daytime, you will give a signal by telling him to calm down and all the rest. You will see that signal. But in the night, you are denied of all those privileges to give one signal.
Because it's not a usual spot.
Yes, for eventual, maybe try to pass the next of the people who have already slowed down. So they were thinking maybe it is bad and this. Even the girl, even in the military boat.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. So, do you think, based on what you said now, do you think it's the fault of the military people or the fault of the boat driver?
Maybe I would say the military We are scared of what is happening around Abonima. So they are trying to protect their shores. But still, it was not supposed to be direct. You need to be sure of who is, even you're suspecting the boat as maybe one of those bad boys and all the rest. The military know their tactics, how they used to check the ones that is really a bad one and the ones that are good ones. So, secondly, the aspect of the driver, as I earlier said, in the night, by that time, mostly the Bakana drivers, we don't used to drive at that late hour because of security reasons. We always caution our drivers not to drive late hour. They should always come inside by maybe latest 7 o'clock. But by that time they left, is, if I'm not mistaken, it should be around 9, 10 thereabout. So for a long time you've not drive that late hour in the night. And what you need to do, all your mindset is you want to go to your destination and come back home safely, quick. So probably I will not blame the driver.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, now this coming Saturday is the state election, which we're talking about the governorship election. Now, what do you really have to say? Because a massive killings within the Kalabari area, Bakana is not exclusive because it is one of the major communities that makes up the Kalabari kingdom. Now, what do you really have to say concerning this coming election? Fine, Bakana is peaceful, but nobody predicts tomorrow.
Advice towards every sons and daughters of Bakana, at the same time the Degema local government. Please, everybody should come to their various communities wherever you are. Go to your various polling units so long as that is the place you are registered. Go there peacefully and do your cast peacefully. Do not entertain and do not cause any form of violence. Because if you do, it shows, one, a sign that you do not like the peace of Bakana. Two, it still shows that you are happy if the Bakana will be like other communities who deaths were roving around them. Three, if you still do any form of trouble, it still shows that the peace which the Bakana internal security has conducted all this while, you are trying to waste their effort they have ever done around the community. So I urge every sons and daughters of Bakana to please embrace peace. Come peacefully, do your voting peacefully, and so that you will go back peacefully. What, what I have to say to the people of Bakana is they should not think that they will get or they will have heaven and earth before in their pitch they will support the progress of the community. No matter the level you find yourself, I believe you have the capability or the ability to support the progress of the community. I don't have anything. I don't have heaven and earth. But from my little bit, I exercise and show my love I have for my community. Same thing goes to you, that you do the same. Any field you can, any way you can support your community to make your community excel, not to go backward. Anything to make the community develop, do it for your community. With that, we all will see that the Bakana city they used to call this in the past, this is the time for we to bring that city back home, so that we no longer answer Bakana alone. We will always be the Bakana city we want.
Okay, then finally, I want to talk about the Bleaching Carnival. We had a street gist on that day, on the Bleaching Carnival procession, while it was going on, and people expressed their gratitude towards you and also how you've helped the Bakana community. And they've always wished that this year's carnival or celebration will be awesome. So, would you kindly brief things that you think will be added to this year's celebration, especially that of the Bleaching Carnival?
That of the Bleaching Carnival, once again, I thank all the citizens and non-indigenous who came to enjoy themselves that Bleaching Carnival last year, 28th. We normally have our Bleaching Carnival every 28th of December, every year. And that last year, I personally took it over upon myself just to make sure that the people should see more color for it. And I believe this year will be more than the one of last year. And I'm still telling every sons and daughters of Bakana who loves fun Let us come together, put our heads together, make it more colorful than ever. Because the more you give it color every year, the more it goes viral to the world.